Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so just a quick backstory on this watch for those that haven't seen the first video on this Air King, which by the way, I'll leave a link to below. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. This watch was purchased new back in 1988 and is an Air King 5500, which is most similar to a modern Oyster Perpetual. It was kind of the entry-level watch at that time. Anyhow, I always knew my cousin owned it, and I was like hopeful that one day maybe he'd pass it along to me, which he did a few years ago. And I was contemplating doing this sort of ever since he gave it to me. I thought it'd be great to put some money into it because I didn't pay anything for it and get it to look as good as it possibly could. It's over 30 years old. What is that, 34 years ago now? 34 years ago? So yeah, it's old. When I originally took the watch into the Beverly Hills service center here, they quoted me around $700 or $800 for the full service, and they refer to that as a complete overhaul. So components like dials, crystal, hands, I think all of that is like changed if it needs to be within that cost. Also, they include a full polish. Once again, some people don't like polishing their watches because that could negatively affect the value of the watch. I'm not concerned with that because I'm never gonna sell it. This watch will be with me for the rest of my life unless I choose to pass it along to somebody else who's younger than me in my family.
Okay, so shortly after I dropped my watch off in Beverly Hills at the service center, they mailed me this, letting me know that they'll take a look at the watch and then give me a quote later on for what the overhaul will cost. So then they sent me this, $750 for the complete overhaul and $46 to replace the crown, coming to a final total after tax of just over $800. For those of you that saw the first Air King video, I did mention that I had no interest in changing dial, handsets, things like that, but those look like they came as a part of the package, so we did it. In the center, they quoted me pricing for separate purchases of bracelets and the clasp. $10.50 Oyster, $11.50 Jubilee, and then the clasp at $175. So I just chose to go with the clasp. I felt like they did a great job resurfacing my old bracelet, so as you can see it there, $191.
So this pouch here is the pouch that they gave me the watch in when they first returned it to me. And I say first returned it to me because I purchased a new clasp from them after I took it home and realized that I still wasn't happy with the integrity of the old clasp. It had fallen off a few times, fallen off of my wrist, and so I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go back and purchase a new one. So I did that. So here's the watch, and I think it just looks stunning. And you can see the side of the case here. Everything is polished as it should be. Just a fantastic job by the Rolex Service Center. And I mentioned that this clasp is brand new. So it is, that's a brand new clasp. Not the one that originally came on the watch, but I will splice in some footage of that clasp as well because I want everybody to see that one.
Because of the fact that I decided to get the new clasp after the service, I ended up with both the old one polished and the new one. Had I asked for the new clasp in the beginning, they would most likely have just taken my old clasp from me. Instead, now I have it and it's polished, which is pretty cool. So I ended up with two pouches because they gave me the watch back with the new clasp on it with this second pouch. So happy to have both of them. So that about does it for this one. We've gone over the costs. We've taken a look at the watch after it's come back from service. My overall opinion is that they did a very good job, and for me, the cost, which was just around $1,000, was worth it because I didn't pay for this watch, and I'm happy to put some money into it, keep it going for hopefully the rest of my life. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we will see you in the next one.